My name is Lamad from the End is Near 2 YouTube account. I want to give all praises to Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, Baha, Kodash, Rakar. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the sincere Akim, laboring in the dispensation of the word of Yahawah, Shem, Yahawashi, in truth and sincerity, keeping their garments, and, trying to endure to the end. Today, I basically have a quick little, quick hit. This is based off of this guy that we had, came up to us, and he was, he was listening for a second, but then he just, he knew a little something, but then, you could tell as it went on by the end of camp, you could tell this dude, he knew he was an Israelite, but there was, some holes in his doctrine or whatever. Like for example, so like the title of this video is in the Keep That Word series, but it's so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are and were oppressed together, because his main thing was that he believed that the tribe of Judah was were Israelites, but he didn't believe that the southern kingdom is Judah, Benjamin, Levi. He believed that Judah, I guess, were Israelites, but he didn't believe that the tribes from their distinctive lineages were that we know today, the so-called indigenous people of America and Latinos. He didn't believe that they were Israelites, because he felt that the southern kingdom suffered more than them, which, I mean, that's kind of a relevant point, irrelevant point, because the scriptures say otherwise. You had the northern kingdom, as we know, the brothers that's in the know. You got the northern kingdom. They went into their captivities too, but they were in the Western Hemisphere when Judah was going through the Babylonian, the Medo-Persian, the Greek, the Roman Empire. Even to today. Well, the scriptures say, that the southern kingdom and northern kingdom were oppressed together. So I'm gonna just get these scriptures real quick. So this is Joel chapter 3 verse 1. It says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem." And Judah is talking about is a title or name that is given to of course, Judah being a head tribe, but Judah was the head tribe of the southern kingdom, which was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. So that's when you see that word, that's what it's referring to. And then Jerusalem is talking about the northern kingdom, Salakia. So that's what that scripture is referring to. So it's Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 18. It says, "In those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I give for inheritance unto their fathers." So that's talking about, just like I said, you're going to have the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. They're going to come together. And it says, "And they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto their fathers." And that's talking about the nation, the kingdom, because we're basically going to be the tribes are going to be united together in the kingdom. There's not going to be a difference or separation or division. You know what I mean? And this is Jeremiah 50 and 33. It says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go." And that's the point we was trying to make at camp. But it's like, that's Israel, they swear they know something. Because to me and the brother I teach with, Amatazah, it's like, it's straightforward. There's nothing deep about what we were saying. Like, what does that matter that he felt like Judah, we call slavery worse than the Native Americans and the Latinos? It doesn't matter. That still doesn't not make us Israelites. And look, it says And all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go. So, and we still in captivity to this day. Go to the reservations, or not the so-called Native Americans in the reservations. Did they not have the highest suicide rate in the country? The highest, all the, the cancer rates, and all that stuff, statistically wise. Did they not have stuff going on that's swept under the rug that you don't hear about and all this? All kinds of negative stuff that goes on. You know what I mean? The kids are suicidal and all that. So we live in ghettos, poor conditions. You know what I mean? Subject to drug abuse, alcoholism, unemployment. So how are we not oppressed together? Like, that doesn't make any sense. This is Judges 3:8. It says, therefore the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hands of Cushan Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, and the children of Israel served Cushan Rishathaim 8 years. So that's an example of Israel, being in captivity and serving the other nations and being under subjection to them. So Judges chapter 6 verse 1. It says, and the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered them into the hands of Midian 7 years. So this is, and this is. I mean, I'm just reading to you examples of Israel going into captivity because we're still in captivity to this day. But it wasn't just the Babylonians, the Medo-Persians, the Greeks, and the Romans. It was other nations too. Like when we say Israel. The nation of Israel was under captivity under every nation under the sun. That's what we're talking about. And even to this day, we're still being oppressed and being subjugated under the non-Israelite nations until we're delivered. So this is Judges chapter 10 verse 7 to 8. It says, and the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hands of the Philistines and into the hands of the children of Ammon. And we know the Philistines is those Hamites, and the Ammonites are the people that fall under the category of being, what we call today Japanese. In verse 8, it says, and that year they vexed and oppressed the children of Israel 18 years. All the children of Israel that were on the other side Jordan, in the land of the Ammonites, which is in Gilead. So it says they vexed and oppressed the children of Israel 18 years. And that's what goes on to this day. I mean, this is Psalms 83 and verse 1. It says, keep not thou silence, O Most High, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Most High. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. And who's the Most High's people? Crafty counsel, what's that? A scheme. Have not the so-called white man and the other nations basically, made a covenant? How can we take the so-called Native Americans down? Just look at, for example, right? When they founded America, it was different so-called European nations that came to America and helped colonize. You had the English, or the British, the French, the Spanish, the Portuguese, the Dutch. From North America all the way down to so-called South America and the islands. You had different so-called Edomite countries that had a hand in basically trying to take our people down. The Hamites, the Ishmaelites, the transatlantic slave trade, which they taking crafty counsel against the Most High people, which is the children of Israel, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and other tribes that are scattered according to the curses throughout the four corners of the earth. and consulted against thy hidden ones. And, we're hidden ones because, we don't know who we are, or they try and, downplay who the real biblical Israelites are. They got us, our people thinking that the real true biblical Israelites are the Hasidic Jews, or, the people that's in Israel right now, or the people that are calling themselves Jewish, which we know is not true. Verse 4, it says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name Israel, Salakia, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So that's what I'm saying. They don't want the Gadites to know that they're the true biblical Israelites, the so-called Native Americans. They don't want the Reubenites, which are the so-called Seminole Indians, to know that they're the biblical Israelites, and so on and so on. So, all right, I'm gonna end it off with this. This is the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 71. It said that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. And ultimately, the elect of the nation of Israel on this side is going to be saved from our enemies. And that goes to show you, and there's a New Testament scripture, that the Israelites have enemies. Who are the Israelites' enemies? The other 17 nations. And that's the way the Most High basically set it up. It says, and from the hand of all that hate us. And that goes to show you that, there's people out there that hate us, that hate the Israelites. And who's going to save us? Yahawashi, through the power of Yahawah. Because Yahawah gave Yahawashi power to save his people, the elect of his people, by way of the chariots, and ultimately by the way of the thermonuclear missiles that are going to basically destroy this place. And with that, I hope this is edifying, and I want to give all praises to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Baha, Kodash, Rakah. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me, and shalom to all the sincere Akim that are laboring in truth and sincerity, keeping their garments clean, and laboring in the dispensation of the word in Yahawah Shem Yahawashi, and doing their lot in His truth. And shalom.